Alright, this is my Freewing Vulcan. I've had this for a couple of years. It has had one little modification to it where it's been just gone over with some polyurethane just to give it a bit shinier finish. Keep my nose cone nicely in the front there because it stops me knocking it off. That just slots in with a magnet that we marked there from playing silly buggers in a previous video. These are designed for like a 3000 to 4000 6S, 4S to 6S. They'd probably fly quite fine for a sports setup on a 4S. However, I only have 5000 6S's, so I managed to shoehorn a 5000 in the front there by pushing it all the way to the back. And there we have the battery in place. So the battery strap ends up being right at the front of the battery. That means I can then turn the plug around and that just fits on top, out of the way. I had to chop out some of the foam under the canopy here because that was getting away with the plug when I put it upside down like that. Now that all works out pretty well, clears that. First thing I do is lift it up on its nose and get the undercarriage out. First thing I did with these, really important, is move control rods in on the servo and right out to the end of the control surface. Same with the elevator, move it right in on the servo, or 3 holes in and right out in there, because that gives you better mechanical advantage and resolution of servos and stops them being quite so touchy. Makes them a lot more planted in the sky. I had to take off with half flaps, so that's half flaps and full flaps for landing. Half flaps really helps increase that angle of attack on the main wing, which helps to get off the ground. I added a 3D printed thrust cone in the back here. It's not actually really a thrust cone, it's more of an aesthetic thing. Makes it look a bit cooler, I like it. Right, fly time. I get about 4.5 minutes of full, or about 4 minutes of full throttle out of the 5000, which is a lot more than what you'd get with 2.5 minutes out of a 3000. Gear up, flaps up. Look at that. There's a fast flight envelope for you. It'll also fly quite happily, quite slow. So there's half flap on, and do a pass with half flap. That third throttle. Cruises around quite happily, still an orbit round with that. Back up to half throttle to give it enough airspeed and a bit of wind. Quite happy flying slow with that 5000 big pack in it. Get the airspeed up. And put flaps away and climb away. Not many EDS can fly away like that, almost vertically, unlimited. Turn over, roll down, open back up again. And a big sky loop. With a half Cuban up the way down, half roll. With a low pass. We'll chuck it into a knife edge this time too. Does knife edge pretty well. And come around inverted. There's a sport jet, so it does fly upside down pretty well. I can do all the same things upside down. I was pretty happy with that.
Timer 1 elapsed.
There's my timer, so it's about time for a buzz and brake into a landing, I think. Flap down, gear down. Half flaps, add some power. Bring it in nice and slow, this thing with the full flaps. There's full flaps. Approach, bring it just a touch of power, just to keep my airspeed under control. And look, not very much of a flare there. Put me down. Undercarriage is really good on this, never had an issue with it. Really impressed. And that's the Freewing Vulcan.